April 2000, I worked in the Midlands. That's where we settled. I never lived anywhere else. Settled in the Midlands. And then suddenly I realized that I didn't actually need to work as a nurse, you know. Seriously, I didn't. Because I looked at myself and thought, by my calculations and by my dreams, what I've got in my head and by what I want to do, there's no way I'm going to achieve this by working and trading dollars for hours. You cannot make it, guys. I'm being real and honest. I am not against working. But working is part of the journey to take you to where you truly need to be. And so for me, the belief of trading dollars for hours, I truly believe that that's not where God wants us to be. Because the Word of God says He has given us life and He's given it to us more abundantly. That we may live it abundantly. And so that's going to be my next question, because I am going to ask you that question, that what does that abundance mean to you? Because if you cannot describe it and you haven't got a full understanding of what it means to you, then you don't want it. So it's okay, carry on trading your dollars for hours, that's fine. But just make sure you are comfortable with that choice, and if that's your choice, then it's okay. But then another question that I had in my head, because I am a strong believer of the Word of God, and without the Word of God, I wouldn't be where I am today. And so this Word of God, when I read it, I want to have full understanding of what is it that is it trying to say to me, and how can I transfer this word now to put it into action. So I read somewhere again in the Word of God where it says that we must be able to leave a legacy for our children. Yes. So I was calculating, you know, having worked, I used to work a late shift, a night, and an early. Okay? I don't know if you guys still do it, but I would do a late with this agency, and then with the next agency I do a night. Yeah. And then with the other agency I do an early. Yeah. Okay? So I would earn £4,500 a month. But still, it wasn't enough for what I was dreaming and what I wanted. So I sat down with my husband the one day and I said, this is not going to work. There must be a way. There surely must be a way. Okay? So when I was going to work, I created great, amazing relationships with the managers. And I started to ask them the questions. How does it work? You know, these agencies that you ask to come here, how does it work? Okay, so I started to understand and to research and have understanding. But one thing that I noticed was, everywhere where I used to go, they were forever short. You could go for an early shift or a night shift, and then you are asked to stay long. And sometimes you end up doing a night and a long day in a night. They were always short all the time. And so I went home and told my husband. Now my husband is an entrepreneur. All he does in his life is enterprising. So I think God put these two people together. We are two crazy people. Talk about enterprising, that's all we talk about in our home. And very high risk takers. Very high risk takers. Because we know what we want in life, but at the same time, we are not afraid to fail. And if we fail, it's absolutely fine and it's okay. The last time we took a risk was 4 years ago. And I remember us sitting down and looking at all our options and thinking that what would be the worst case scenario if this deal that we are trying to do doesn't work? Where can we end up? So we looked at it and we realized that if it didn't work, we would end up living in a council house, in a 2-bedroom council house, and maybe being on benefits, but we wouldn't die. So that would be our worst case scenario. So we then asked ourselves, would we be okay to live with that? And then we realized that, yes, it will be fun. But then if we don't take the risk, we're never going to know. We're never going to make it, right? Again, that's another way of looking at life. So it's okay to take a risk, and it's okay to fail, but you just need to double check and make sure that what you're trying to do, where your option, how would you feel if you ended up living in a council house, or if you ended up living by the train station? How would that make you feel? And if you are okay with that, then it's fine. Because you can't be worrying about what everybody's going to think about. What you're going to do. What you need to worry about is you. Yeah. How do you feel about it? How do you think about it? Yeah. And if it's okay, it's fine. Yeah, so my topic for today is get clarity about your money and create abundance. Create your own abundance. But I put some these post-it notes because I want us to work together. This is like an interactive exercise. We are going to look at what does abundance mean to you. I want you to write it down on your post-it notes. And then once you've written it down, I want you to come and stick it on this thing here. Don't put your name. Just tell us, what do you think abundance means to you? But while you're doing that, I'm going to just finish off telling you my history while you're doing that. And so working as a nurse, there we are, I'm working as a nurse. And then with my husband, we realized that we could start our own recruitment business, really, seriously. So what we did was we did a simple survey. We wrote to our friends and nurses that I knew and asked them the question, if I started a business today, would you work for me? And if you would, how much would you like to be paid? That was a simple question. So we went door to door to door to door where we knew people would live in our complexes, different, in our neighborhood. And that survey brought us very valid information. It told us whether people would work with us, and it told us how much they would like to be paid. And with that information, we were then in a place where we were able to know that it was possible to start a recruitment business because people can work. They wanted to work. And that's how our recruitment business called the Family Healthcare Limited was started. And in 2001, we were registered and we got on with it. And that's the business that kept us going to this day. Everything else came, but it was after that making that decision. And so, walking that journey now of starting a business from day one in 2001, walking all that journey to where it is today, I really found that journey was very difficult and very lonely. It was very lonely in the sense that it had so many challenges. But these challenges were not the sort of stories I could go and discuss with my friends. Because my friends were some of the people who used to work for me. Now, how would it go down with them if I was going to tell them that I haven't got £20,000 to pay the people or the staff on Friday? I couldn't. And so it was a very lonely, difficult journey because business, it comes with its own challenges. But these challenges are not there to mess you about, but they are there and they need a solution. And so if there wasn't money to pay people every Friday, you would simply go home and cry in your bedroom and ask God the question, where am I going to get the money? And in our position, we were new in this land. So we had no credit history. We couldn't go and borrow money. The only time we tried to borrow money was to join the Black Country Business Partnership. That was there, the funding that was there from the government to fund black businesses. But then when we went there, we were told we didn't qualify because we were just new in the country. And guess how much we wanted to borrow? £500. £500. We couldn't get it. And so it was very difficult and very stressful. The only money that we had to use to run the business was I had to go and work very hard. And then when the money comes in, we had to use the money to pay people. And for more than a year, 12 months, we are registered, we are running an office, everything is running, all the expenses. Not even a single day did that phone ring, anybody asking for staff. Not even a single day. For 12 months. But did we give up? No. Because we knew that one day that phone should ring.
Yeah.
One day that phone should ring. So that didn't stop us. We used to ring those nursing homes. We used to ring those clients. We used to send our newsletters 3 times a week. We used to send our availability 3 times a week for 12 good months. Until one day we were coming from Heathrow Airport, I remember very clearly, that phone rang. And this nursing home said, we are so short, we have had 2 nurses ring in sick, and we need nurses from you. And we're like, oh God. We are coming from Heathrow Airport, we're on the motorway. So we had to ring a friend, can you go and pick so and so and take them to work? And that was the day the doors were open to our business. And so I don't care what you're trying to do. I don't care. You have got to stick it in. There is no magic.
Yeah.
If somebody has told you that there is magic, that's a lie from the pit of hell. There is no magic. There is no miracle. I don't believe in that kind of miracle.
Yeah.
Actually, personally, I believe that every single money I should earn must be money I would have worked with my hands, and then God blesses that money. So He can multiply only what I have brought with my hands.
Yes.
Anything else that comes through other ways and methods, I don't want it. Because only that which God has blessed is what is going to stay.
Amen.
So you have got to get it right in your head. Do you want a miracle and a magic? Like paper money that can burn quickly and then it's gone? Or would you rather have that kind of money that is charcoal, that will burn slowly and slowly and slowly, but it's more durable and it's solid foundation. And so we have got to come out of that mentality that you work today and make money tomorrow and live like a prince and a princess the following day. It's nothing like that. It's a life on the pit of hell. We have got to be realistic. Rome wasn't built in one day. And if you go to Rome today and when you look at those structures, absolutely beautiful and amazing. But it took time. Daily, they had to shape those stones. Daily, somebody had to wake up, one by one by one by one. And it's the same journey when you guys are building your foundations, working hard. Whatever you have put your heart to do your best. But one step at a time, but consistently. Daily, you don't give up. You don't start this and leave it, and start that and leave it. You have got to be consistent. And that's what makes the difference between the successful people and the unsuccessful people. And so that's how our journey grew up to where I am today. Now, because of that loneliness, I started to think in myself 4 years ago. I thought, there must be a way. It cannot be a world where you grow in business and you haven't got a network of people who think the same like you do, whom you can bounce off ideas, whom you can ask questions. And so for me, the challenge was, the network that was around me was I had to drive long distances. I said I have to drive into London to go to directors' meetings, which was fine, which was good. But I just had that longing to be able to connect with other women, whether online, whichever method, but I needed to stay connected with people that are facing the same challenges or having the same win that I'm getting. Because the higher you go, the lonelier it becomes. You know why? Because you are in business, everybody around you thinks you are loaded, you've got money. Yet inside you are burning. You're facing some real challenges. So you have got to keep up an appearance and a face that it is well, but there is no one you can really share your serious problems, that this is what I'm going through. And how can I get over it? Or how can I pass this storm? Because it's only a storm, it's for a season. But if you don't get the right support, you can fall. Easy. You know? And so for me, that was the difficulty and the challenge. And then it's only one day when I went to a conference and somebody mentioned that actually some of us, we are waiting for someone to to come and give us an answer. Maybe we are the answer. And so I thought, I've been thinking about it, maybe is it because maybe I'm the answer? Maybe? I thought, okay, maybe I'm the answer. So what should I do? So I decided to host an event at my house. And all I did was I released an email to all the women in business that were on my contact list. And I said, guys, I'm going to be holding an event at my house. It's a networking event. It's for women in business. And let's just come and share our joys and our sorrows and our challenges and support each other. And so I could only host 40 women. So I invited these women to my house. It was a dinner, 3-course meal. And that's when I realized that there was a need. Women are in business. Women are doing their thing, but women are lacking support. And so that's why women are failing, because they are going through it alone. They are being a mom, they are being a businesswoman, they are being a sister and auntie, but then they haven't got the right support around them to say to them, it's okay, what you're going through is normal. Just make sure you've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so that's when I realized that there was that need. And it was from that network that I started my journey of coaching and mentoring other women and saying to them, this is the network, this is where we are. And if you've got a challenge and a need, somebody can say to you, stick it in, you are on the right track. Only that you need to do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I also decided to say I can become a source of information, because with the level where my business is and the level where I am, I've got access to information where other people who are not at that level, they could never get it. So I'm now accessing information I wish I had when I started.
Yeah.
But those people were never there. And so that's how I decided to come and to start to share my story and share my journey. I then came online because I never was online. But then I had to go to study how can I use the internet and everything else that I've got around me to share the message with the world and support women to make a difference. Because it is us girl children that will make that difference to ourselves, to our families, and to our kids most of all. We have got to be role models. So we have got to stand in the gap and be those people that are trailblazers. That's what I call us. Who are going to make that difference and stand in the gap for our kids and tell them that they can be directors. They can run their own companies. Actually, they don't have to work for nobody.
Yes.
That somebody has to be there. And so for me, these are the things that are close to my heart. So the work that I do, support other women in business, but also pull up our girls and say to them, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. If you can look at me and I did it, so can you. So can anybody else. And so this is the work. That's my history and that's my background. That's where I'm coming to. So, with you creating your abundance, I'll just show you the slides of what I've just been talking about. So I'm a lover of God, I'm a wife, I'm a director, I'm a business coach, a mentor, a strategist. And this is my lifestyle really. I am a fitness freak. And I love everything about me. That's me at the village. I have to go home 2-3 times a year, do what I've got to do. I love going on holiday. I love looking good. And that's just who I am. I'm an author to a free book that I've made available now on my website, How I Created a 7-Figure Business from Scratch. And that's just really to share my story with the world.